On April 18, 1942, the United States launched a daring air raid on Tokyo, Japan. This mission was codenamed the Doolittle Raid. It was a pivotal moment in World War II. The raid was a response to Japan's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor just 4 months earlier. It shocked the Japanese people and boosted American morale. The raid showed that Japan was not invincible. It ignited a firestorm of determination in the hearts of Americans. The raid was led by Lieutenant Colonel James H. Doolittle, a skilled pilot and aviation pioneer. Doolittle and his men volunteered for this highly dangerous mission. They knew the risks involved, but they were determined to strike a blow against the enemy. The Doolittle Raid was a testament to the courage and resilience of the American spirit in the face of adversity. The attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, had left the United States reeling. The Japanese surprise attack had devastated the U.S. Pacific Fleet. It had claimed the lives of over 2,400 Americans. The nation was eager to strike back. There was a palpable thirst for revenge in the air. The Doolittle Raid was more than just a military operation. It was a symbol of American defiance. The raid was a message to Japan that the United States would not be intimidated. It showed the world that America was ready to fight for its survival. The idea for the raid was audacious. The plan was to launch land-based B-25 bombers from an aircraft carrier. The B-25s would have to take off from a much shorter deck than they were designed for. This was a dangerous maneuver that had never been attempted before. The U.S. Navy's only suitable aircraft carrier, the USS Hornet, was chosen for the mission. The B-25 bombers were modified for the mission. They were stripped of unnecessary weight to increase their range. The planning and preparation for the raid were carried out in utmost secrecy. The Doolittle Raiders, as they came to be known, faced numerous challenges during their training. They practiced taking off from short runways. The pilots had to learn to navigate over vast distances of open ocean. They also had to become proficient in low-level bombing techniques. The training was intense and demanding. The men knew that their mission would be fraught with danger. Despite the challenges, the Doolittle Raiders were determined to succeed. They were driven by a sense of duty and a desire to avenge Pearl Harbor. 16 B-25 bombers were selected for the raid. Each bomber carried a crew of 5 men. The 80 volunteers who made up the Doolittle Raiders came from various backgrounds. They were all highly skilled and motivated individuals. The B-25 bomber was a relatively new aircraft at the time. It was known for its durability and its ability to carry a heavy bomb load. The B-25s were painted with special insignia for the mission. This was done to help disguise them as Japanese aircraft. Section 6. Launch from the USS Hornet, a moment of no return. On April 18, 1942, the USS Hornet steamed towards Japan under a veil of secrecy. The Doolittle Raiders were ready. They had briefed on their targets and were prepared for any eventuality. The atmosphere on board the carrier was tense with anticipation. As the B-25s began to launch from the Hornet's deck, the enormity of the mission became clear. The bombers roared into the sky, one after another. They were heading towards the heart of the Japanese Empire. Section 7. Bombs over Japan. The Doolittle Raid unfolds. The Doolittle Raid achieved complete surprise. The B-25s flew low over the Japanese countryside, avoiding enemy detection. They struck their targets with precision, hitting military and industrial installations in Tokyo, Yokohama, and Nagoya. The Japanese people were stunned by the raid. They had believed that their homeland was invulnerable to attack. The raid caused relatively little physical damage, but its psychological impact was significant. Section 8. Escape and Aftermath. The perilous journey home. After bombing their targets, the Doolittle Raiders faced a perilous journey home. Most of the crews were forced to bail out of their aircraft or crash land in China. They were aided by Chinese civilians and soldiers who risked their lives to help them. The Doolittle Raid was a risky mission, and not all of the raiders made it back safely. 3 men were killed during the raid, and 8 were captured by the Japanese. Despite the losses, the raid was considered a success. Section 9. A legacy of courage and determination. Doolittle's enduring impact. The Doolittle Raid was a pivotal moment in World War II. It boosted American morale at a time when it was desperately needed. It forced the Japanese to doubt their own invincibility. The raid showed that Japan was not immune to attack. The Doolittle raid remains a testament to the courage and sacrifice of the men who flew the mission. It stands as a symbol of American resolve and ingenuity in the face of the enemy.